Continues to amaze. Wednesday afternoon, he strode onto the Regent University stage, a big Christian university, and received a prolonged standing ovation from the evangelical audience. He went on to speak eloquently about the importance of family. He even brought out his two sons, who spoke highly of him, nominating pro-life judges, defending Israel, etc. After hearing what he had to say, he left over an hour later to another standing ovation. Ted Cruz must be downing huge Alka-Seltzer tablets as we speak. After all, it was Cruz who was supposed to get all the love from evangelicals. Instead, Trump has invaded his turf. What happened? Asked David Brody.
All right.
You know, one of the interesting things about the coverage of this campaign with regard to Donald Trump is the misnomer, and it's been going on, I think, for quite some time, that part of Trump's popularity is because elements of the Republican Party are so disgusted with what the Republican Party has not done over the past few years. And if you walk around any sidewalk in this country, his popularity extends well beyond Republican Party, well beyond the Republican Party.
And Harold, though, again, evangelicals, there's so many things that you could bring up about Donald Trump and what he's done over the past 20 years that would stop evangelicals from wanting to support him. But I mean, this shows, I'm sure you saw it in your district too. I mean, people don't always vote based on one or three issues. Certainly, evangelicals in the South don't just vote for the guy that quotes the most Bible verses.
This is true. And evangelicals also, I mean, people of faith also love underdogs. And Trump started off in the front in this race, but he's been an underdog as it relates to how the press has treated him and how people have continued to beat up on him and batter him and suggest that he couldn't survive past this summer till now. And he continues to. He says what's on his mind, and I think it has broader appeal than just to Michael's point. I have Democratic friends who surprise me, who I would not think would think positive, who live outside of New York and live outside of the West Coast, who are saying positive things about him because they think there are a lot of unknowns there, but they like the fact that he's a leader, and they view him as someone who's kind of a turnaround CEO. I mean, these are not necessarily my views, but these are the views of people who I respect and
the coverage of Trump and the evangelicals has focused almost exclusively for several months on, well, his values are not their values, thus he will suffer and Cruz will rise. But their values, I think they set their religious values to one side. They have other values that Trump, whether you like it or not, he encompasses them because of the
But those other values that the evangelicals have are informed by their faith values. And although he can't quote the Bible necessarily correctly, he does.
2 Corinthians.
Correct.
Well, there's that.
He does speak to the values, and Joe, you could attest to this. I mean, the values that evangelicals have, and he